Guys, welcome to the Wednesday Cardone University Mastermind. My name is Steve Sprague, coming to you live to be successful in your business today. So to the show, okay, we a lot of people who jumped in for the Friday, and so this is it today, we do it at 2. And the only thing that we do is we cover topics inside Cardone University, and then we take phone calls from you. So if you're a caller, we would love to hear some of the challenges, problems, questions, things that you may have. That way we can help you out, because that's what this show's about. It's about helping our clients on the program. So this is exclusive to you. And what you want to do is drop in any question that you might have, or maybe even a problem. Maybe you had a customer this past week, or maybe you're trying to get in front of a customer. How would we do it? How do I use Cardone University to help me get there? That's what we're doing here, folks. So, guys, if you want to call in, that number 305-865-8668. That's the number. And we want to be able to help you guys out. So, again, 305-865-8668. So, guys, welcome. And this week we're going to be talking about reasons why people do not buy from you. So, one of the things that's helped me out as a salesperson is just the awareness in the deal. And so you guys are going to hear me talk about that a lot, especially when I have callers calling in every week. I'm asking them, hey, when they give me a problem, I'm asking them, well, where are you at in the deal? And in most cases, they don't know exactly where they're at, and they don't know exactly what the problem is. And so that's where this program just teaches you things that you've probably never even heard before, ever. And maybe you've never had this type of training to be able to get to the next level, or find out, hey, what's going on with the deal? How do I get this deal done? I'm working these other deals over here. How do I close them out? What do I do? And so that's what we're going to cover this week. And this week comes right from the follow-up program. So if you guys want to call in right now, 305-865-8668. I see we already got a couple callers calling in. But Johnny, if you want to show my screen right now, I want to tell everybody what I'm talking about. When you guys log into the program, you're going to be going through your master sales certification. But the topic that I want to cover this week, it actually comes from this program right here that Grant created. It's called Follow Up. And so when you go inside the Follow Up program, Grant's going to tell you, hey, listen, when you got deals, 80% of the time, they're going to happen between the 5th and the 12th follow-up. Well, most people are following up. They're doing their thing. They're using all the follow-up strategies. They're using the chocolate boot. They're using the selfie videos. They're connecting on social media. But, man, they just get to a point where they're thinking, why is this customer not buying from me? And this was one of the most important parts about this entire program that Grant created. And so you'll see it down here. There's 17 courses. And they revolve around this one topic: reasons why people do not buy from you. And so I'm going to spend my time here today, guys, just on the weekly topic. If you have other questions that you want to call in about, I'd love to answer it. If you even want to if you want to call in and actually give me some of the experiences that you have, like, hey, man, I'm working this deal right now, and I can't figure out why they're not closing. How do I do it? How do I close this deal? And so for most of you, it's probably the end of the year right now. And you're probably trying to figure out, okay, well, how do I get some deals done before the end of the year? I want it to go on this year's deals. I want to make sure it's done. I want to get paid for it. I've done all the work. I've done all the right things up until now. Why? Why are they not closing? And you're probably freaking out a little bit. And so go through this part of the program. There's 17 courses. I'd advise for you to go through them multiple different times. And so what I would suggest is this. Go through all the segments so that you know what Grant's talking about. Because I know for me personally, what happened for me was that I started to go through it, and then I started to think with, oh yeah, that's exactly what he's talking about right there. I've seen that before. I know exactly what he's talking about. And when I go back and I look at the chapter, look, to be honest, man, I didn't think that it was something different. Let me give you some examples. Some examples would be somebody who's just not doing it because a lack of time. Well, how would I close that deal? Maybe somebody's got a personal issue that I don't even know about. How am I supposed to find that out? They're not going to call me up, say, hey, man, I got a personal issue with the family. But as a salesperson, I need to know, dude, if something like that's going on, how do I handle it? Right? Or if they got a concern about cost, if it is a concern with cash flow for them or their company, right? And so these videos are going to help open you up. And so watch them all so you can learn and see what's inside there. But then, step up. Now's the time to use the program, the Cardone University, to identify what's going on with all your deals, Right. So when I got a deal that's not closing, I'm thinking, hey, listen, there's 17 reasons Grant says, look, people are not buying. I need to find out which one it is, because if I can't figure out which one it is, I don't know how to handle it. Okay, so I'm gonna take a couple callers before I dive into this. So if you guys want to call in, if you got a deal, man, let's work it out. Let's find out what's happening. So we're gonna take the first caller.
I got Judy in California.
I got Judy in California.
Oh, sure.
Judy, how you doing?
Hey, Jody. It's Jody. Hey, Jake.
Oh,
Thanks for
Jody.
taking my call. Yeah. Hey, so you're talking about why people don't buy today, right?
That's correct. Yes.
Yeah. So I'm working on promoting a 12-week goal-achieving course that actually helps people break through subconscious paradigms so that they don't keep going back to the same old stuff, helping them learn how to move past their set points and their fears and their frustrations and not be set back by them. And this is a program that I could sell, literally I could sell, anybody could benefit from it. But how, in terms of what your experience is, not being too broad seems like not a great idea versus working on a niche. And I'm just looking for some advice about selling a product like that is really broad-based, could work for anybody, and how to sell something like that.
Well, what's the hardest part about what you're doing? I mean, because if everybody could benefit from it, and it's true, I actually believe, I know what you're selling. I actually think that, hey, a lot of people really would benefit from that, but like, what's hard about it?
It's more if they're willing to spend the time to consume it.
Yep. So,
and if they're saying, I don't have time to spend an hour extra a day training my mind how to be better. And I'm like, well, why not?
Okay. Yeah, no, I understand. Well, so here's the thing. I mean, you figured out that, okay, well, man, doing this every single day for an hour has put me into like a whole new level of just who I am. It's, I'm great in all these other areas of my life. Things are awesome. Like, you figured that out because you've been able to, confront that for your life. But for these people, they don't know that yet and they haven't seen it. And so the reality is they've never done it before, right?
Right.
Maybe
it's too generic. In that sense, I need to find out, like, well, what is it that's really holding them back that they're willing to spend an hour on? Right.
So that would definitely be part of, if you go into the sales process inside the training program. So let me show you. So let's break this down a little bit and let's dig in there. So if you guys go inside the program, and so this is a great question because I know what she's asking. I actually get all the time when people are asking about their product and getting to a dominant buying motive. And a lot of this digs into fact finding right here. And so, guys, if you can't dig and figure out what the real dominant buying motive is, like, man, why would somebody do this today? Why would they do it now? Why would, because if you just ask those questions, if you were just like, you came out and said, hey, why today? Why would you do this? They may not necessarily come out and say, hey, you know what? The real reason why I'm doing this is because I've got a lack of self-confidence and blah, 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 and like go down this whole line. They're probably not going to do that up front.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And so, but your job as a salesperson is to get there. And so with fact finding, Grant talks about digging in and how to do it. So that's why there's 7 courses just on that one topic about like where to go. And so what I would do for you is I would start using the objections. So Grant says, move in the direction of the objections. I would use those as something to help you out. So I would, if I know that in their head, they're thinking, I don't have time for this, I'm going to tell them that. I'm going to say, hey, listen, I know you're probably thinking right now, look, I don't have time for this, but if you were to do this, okay, what problem would you be looking to solve with it? So I want to take away the thing that I already know. So like, guys, that's where for everybody out there, you need to confront the real reason why people don't buy your product. Okay. Let me tell you mine. I sell sales training. The number one reason, the only reason really, is because they're not going to use it.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they don't do it. So guess what so Grant says, hey, listen, the one question you got to ask them is you got to drop in and you got to confront them. Hey, listen, there's only 2 reasons why you wouldn't do this. 1, you're not the decision maker, or 2, you don't think you're going to use it. Which one is it? Well, no, if I get it, I'm going to use it, right? So then I start working them down the line, because really what they're doing is you need to get them to have the idea, hey, you know what, dude, I do need this. And that's what the selling part's about. And that's where you can demo right after you get them to think, hey, you know what, man, I've never done anything like this. And I always have these problems with motivation. I always have these problems. I need to do something like this to get my life right. And I've never done something like this, but maybe it could help me out. You need to get them to be open to it, so that way you can then pitch them on it, which is why the fact finding comes right before a presentation. So I hope that helped you out. What I want to do is just point out, use the objection that you already know they're thinking. Like, tell them what they're thinking. When I call people up, I'm calling business owners. I know that they don't have time. So like Grant will tell you inside the actual Master the Cold Call program, he's like, dude, use that. So I know you don't have time right now, and I know you probably took this call because you thought it was a deal for your business. I'm going to lead with that. Because now what's he going to say? Well, I don't have time. Well, I already took that away from him.
Yep.
And so take that away from them. So just tell them hey, listen, I know why you're not doing this right now, or I know why you haven't already done it. It's probably because you don't think you have the time to do something like this. Is that right? Or what may end up happening is they say, no, that's not it at all. It's actually this other thing. And so it's just it's a way to fact find and really dig in there. And so you guys will find that inside the sales process, where Grant really digs in deep to fact finding questions. And so, Jody, thanks a lot for the call. That was a great question, because I know a lot of people have that same problem. So try that out and let me know how it goes, and then we'll try to tweak it from there.
Hey, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. Awesome, guys. So, back to how many callers? Oh, wow. Okay, cool. So I'm gonna take another caller before we dive back in.
I got Pete in Pennsylvania.
Pete from Pennsylvania. What's happening?
Hey, how you doing today?
Dude, I'm doing awesome, man. How you doing? What's happening in Pennsylvania right now?
Well, it's a little chilly. Ending out the year, hopefully to get it done strong. I'm working on websites and changing some marketing around.
Okay.
To start up a crowd fund. Well, it's been going on, but not going too well.
Yeah, you know where there's going to be a big crowd?
Where's that?
That's going to be at the 10X Growth Con, man. You got your tickets?
Oh, yeah. I'm already signed up for the mentorship program.
My man. That's awesome. Well, man, what can I help you out with this week?
Well, that's one of the questions. I would like to try to close this out before the end of the year. So, I'm motivated. I just want to know where I can start advertising now to try to find, people that would be interested in a crowd fund.
Who's your client? Who's your ideal client?
I guess non-accredited entry-level investors. That would be my ideal client.
Non-accredited entry-level investors.
Yep.
Where are those people at?
Everywhere, but except Berks County, maybe, because it's the trust area.
Well, yeah. No, I know, man. I know they're everywhere. I know they're everywhere. But listen, if there was one sweet spot that you knew all the deals were at, who are those people? Are they young? They old? They smart? They uneducated people? They educated people?
Yeah, you can't really pin it down. Just people with additional money that are looking to get a good rate of return.
Yeah, dude, you're not going after $1 billion deal right now, dude. Well, if there was so what I'm looking for right now, so when I prospect, pretty much what he's asking, guys, is, dude, where do I prospect?
Yeah,
so I'm always looking at, hey, the first person who'd buy my deals, who is that? That's the first question I'm always asking myself. That's what I do every single day. So that if you guys go back to Grant's message of who's got my money, this is where it stems from. It's, hey, who could actually buy what I sell? And then, so a lot of what you're talking about, we cover inside the program, in fact. So there's two different places. And I want to show this because this is a great question. It has to do with advertising. I want to show it because really what you're doing is you're just looking, hey, dude, where are people to buy my products? And so, John, if you want to show the computer real quick, there's two places. And if we go inside prospecting or master the cold call, prospecting particularly, there's a whole place that says creating lists for prospects. And so this is just going to give you a really great idea. Okay, well, man, are any of those people in my power base? So any of those accredited investors, are non-accredited investors, are they people that you already know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, good. So you could actually call, that'd be the first place I'd call. Yeah. I'd call the people that know me, that are in my power base. So this is where Grant's going to teach you how to build a list. and how to build a list from a list. So this is a really deep category on finding who's got my money. The other thing is I'm going to find sold customers. So have you already sold this product, or is this a new product to market?
Well, actually, it's a real estate investment. I own a 125,000 square foot warehouse, and I want to prep it to grow medical marijuana. So they're two separate companies. There's a real estate company and, of course, a marijuana company. So that's how we're keeping it legal, statewide and federally.
Is that stuff legal in Pennsylvania yet?
Yeah, they passed it in 2016. And this spring, you'll be able to make a purchase if you have a medical marijuana card.
I'd probably target all the people who couldn't afford to live in Denver. That's who I'd target. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So, dude, listen, man, the question for you just comes down to this, dude. Who's got my money? Build the list, work the list, make the phone calls. The best form of advertising for you is going to be to get on the phones with people. So I'd start calling them. I'd call the people who've already bought the deal, and I'd ask them to buy again.
Okay.
That's who I would, man. So thanks a lot for the call, man. That's a great question. So, guys, listen, like what the question that he's asking right now is, how do I get deals? That's the same question you're asking. Every single day you're waking up and you're asking, hey, who's got my money? You might even have a who's got my money t-shirt. You might have a who's got my money sticker. That might even be the background for your computer. But I want to challenge you. Are you finding, dude, who has my money? And then do you have a plan for it? That's what the Cardone University is for. The Cardone University is for, hey, I've identified who's got my money. It would be this person here, or it'd be that business here. And then Grant's going to say, hey, listen, here's how you put a game plan together. Okay. So the second piece is, okay, well, once you figure that out, you may have pitched a couple people. Once you've pitched a couple people, now you're in the follow-up. If they're not buying yet, just because maybe they're not ready, there's many different things. Well, now we're back down to what we came to talk with in the follow-up, which is reasons why people don't buy from us. So when you guys go inside the reasons, there's 17. I just want to hit on this because I know it's been so valuable for me. And just being able to determine all these different things. So, I ask salespeople all the time, like, hey, why are you not getting deals right now? Well, it's a price thing. Really? Price? Come on, bro. So, there's definitely one in the category that says the price myth, but look, man, figure out what the real reason is. Because if your product was so valuable, then the price you charge for it would probably be, either less than what the value of what you were buying. That's the only reason they would buy it, right? So when you go in here, look, figure it out, man. That maybe it's uncertainty. You ever felt that maybe you had maybe you got off a pitch and you were like, you know what, man, I'm just gonna call it what it is, dude. I didn't do that good on that presentation. That buyer may have uncertainty about our product, and now you're kind of too late to go back and redo the demo. Like, what do you do at that point? That's where Grant's going to talk about it right inside this video. Or maybe you're in B2B sales and they're in a buy-sell agreement. This has happened to me several times. Change of command, dude. That's crushed me on a couple deals. As a sales pro, I need to know what to do in that situation to save the deal. Or if not, I just lose the deal. And this whole program is about one thing. It's about how to get more sales, more than what you're getting right now, just above and beyond the product knowledge, how to pitch, how to follow up, how to close a deal, how to handle objections. But you've got to figure out, like, dude, what do I need right now, today? So I'm going to take another caller, and hopefully we've got somebody who's having trouble getting a deal right now because I want to dig into this.
I got Kathleen in California.
Kathleen in California, how you doing?
Oh, I'm fine. There's a bit of a lag between the video online and you on the phone, so you surprised me.
Okay, sorry. Awesome. So, hey, what question can I help you out with this week?
Well, I'm listening to you talking about people cold calling to make sales of their products. What is your opinion about doing sales exclusively online, like driving people through landing pages and lead pages?
Yeah, so, you still got to talk to somebody. Right?
So you mean like interact with them on social media, or you mean you still think we should somehow try to get phone numbers and pick up the phone?
Both. That's what I would try to do. So guys, communication is the key, really, right? So, when you even have those landing pages and you've got products where you're selling them online, I mean, at what point do you start communicating with the customer other than the communication from your website. I mean, a symbol would be communication to you. Words would be communication to the customer. But at what point do you start communicating with them?
Well, unfortunately, at this point, it's once they've bought the product. So it's just I probably am doing this extremely poorly, and I'm kind of new to the online sales part of my business. We've been in person for a long time,
okay,
and we're just moving to the online sales part. And so right now, it's just letting people know the product is there, letting them know, and then bang, someone buys magically, and then we communicate with them once they make the purchase.
So rule in my office is when they buy something, they get a phone call almost immediately. So we try to get in touch with them in the same 24 hours. So like when they buy, do they put their information in?
We haven't actually been asking for phone numbers because it's my understanding sometimes people are so loath to share that information that they'll not buy just because they don't want to let you know their number.
Yeah, that may be true. But, if you added it in there just for them to be able to put it in there, I think most people put it in there in case there might be like an issue with their package. They don't want to find out 10 days later when they're like, hey, dude, where's my package at? So like,
oh, well, ours isn't, it's not an actual product. It's all online training.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So online training. So, but if they did put their information in, I would call them right away and just ask them, hey, do you have any questions? Can I help you out? What were you looking for? Cause I know for you on your package, you're selling training.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Good. So what type of training?
It's IT training, so cloud computing.
Good. So IT training. Now, how often do you sell that product, and is it an entire business solution, or is it kind of like an individual program?
It's individual programs for the online sales. We actually do in-person training at the corporate level, but these are more for the engineers down in the trenches.
Perfect. So then there's other opportunities with all the people in their departments, right? So there's other opportunities available that they know. And if you get a fast service, hey, thanks a lot. Really appreciate you purchasing our product. We wanted to give you a call. We want to find out if you had any questions. Okay, service first. And then I'm going to go into, hey, who else do you know who needs this product? Do you guys have a team over there?
Oh, yep. I like that. I hadn't even thought to do that.
Yeah, and so, I mean, most of my sales, like the biggest sales I've ever done have came from somebody who like bought. Actually, I turned, because you can download screensavers on our website. Somebody downloaded a free screensaver on our website the other day. I called them within 30 minutes of them downloading that product, and I turned it into a $200,000 deal.
Oh, so you're downloading the screensaver. Those are kind of like a lead magnet, so that's how you got their contact information. That was the exchange for the screensaver?
Yeah, totally. And here's why. So it's not the reason is because the guy came by for a screensaver because he knows in his mind, hey, I need to be looking at the right stuff every single day to get my mind right. But then when I actually talked to him, I found out what his real problem was. And his real problem was that he had an entire company who had a major problem. It was way bigger than anything he could solve. So he definitely needed my services.
Bigger than a screensaver.
Yeah, exactly. I did. Like, a screensaver is not going to solve your problems, bro. And he knew it. But he needed to kind of test out our product even with the screensaver. He needed to find out, hey, do I enjoy the fact that it says 10x up on my screen right now? Is that going to like change the way I think every single day? And once he tried it, he was like, hey, I love that, but it's not enough. And my problem is actually much greater. It's in the multi-millions, man. I mean, what do you got for that product?
Right.
And that's where the other opportunities come from. So for you, I would ask the question, how soon can I communicate with the customer? How can I communicate with more customers? Although I'm an online business, you'd probably 10x most of the deals that you do if you got in front of them, because you could find out, hey, who else do you know? How else can I help you out? You know what happens? Those people get off the phone call and you're totally different, by the way. Now, all of a sudden, you mean something to them, because when I buy shoes offline, or I buy a shirt offline, or dude, those people don't call me and say, hey man, how's it fitting? Do you like it?
Right.
Do you not like it?
Right.
In some cases, I bought it online and it didn't fit. I didn't like it. And guess what? I never bought from them again because I'm like, nah, that place didn't. If they would have called me up and been like, hey, you know what? You bought this size, but we run our sizes a little bit shorter. I know you like those tight t-shirts. Okay. You like to show off your muscles a little bit. Why didn't you try out this? Dude, they could have saved me as a customer.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I would just look for that. So great question, by the way. And I know we got a lot of people in that space who use the training. So perfect. Thanks a lot.
Great. Well, thank you. Thank you for your time.
Yeah, thank you. Awesome. Next question.
I got Andy in New York.
Andy, what's happening? Andy, how you doing, sir?
Hey, good, Steve. How are you?
Man, I'm doing awesome. I got a quick question because before you dive in, I want to find out, are you going to be at our 10X Growth Conference?
Well, that's going to be one of my questions for you, actually. Can we? I just signed up for Cardone University, and I started the follow-up course.
Okay.
And I'm almost done with it. I've got like 2 more modules to go. Is there a strategy as to which classes to which courses to take on? Should I do that certification, do like beginner and then intermediate?
Yeah, so I would do the beginner. I would start at the beginner, just because it's going to go through A to Z, teach you everything in the right order. And there's a lot of fundamentals to Grant's training that you'll see like woven in and out of his strategies later on. So something he talks about in understanding the buyer, you're going to see later as the key component to a negotiating strategy.
All right. Okay, that makes sense.
Right. And so like if you want to get the full effect, you want to like learn things in the right order. Like everybody wants to jump to the end. They're like, "Hey man, show me where the money's at." Well, the first thing, the selling basics, shows it's literally building blocks right there of like a foundation. And that's the most important part. Like get that down, and it's going to provide a ton of value for you just moving forward throughout the program. So 6 segments every single day is the recommended formula. So I know there's a lot of new people on the call. And so 6 segments every single day coming straight from the training path. And then to maybe come back when you have additional questions or challenges or problems is really going to help you out. So, but man, I did have a question for you though, because you said you went through the full follow-up program, right?
Well, no, I've got 2 more modules to go. The last 2,
good.
I'm about to go through.
Oh, good. Yeah, those are the advanced ones. Those are fun. Those are going to make a lot of sense because, like Grant's going to teach you how often to follow up the customer, the mistakes, and then he's going to show you some really advanced strategies. Let me ask you this, just for you, what was the biggest takeaway that you had from some of the follow-up training you've already been through?
Well, the biggest thing is not following up. It's amazing those statistics that Grant talks about. How many companies don't even follow up. They get a lead, they don't do anything with them. And,
exactly.
Or they call like once or twice, and that's it.
Totally.
I love what he says that, you've got to be unreasonable. You can't be reasonable and say, oh, they probably don't want to deal with me.
Right. And unreasonable in a good way, man. Unreasonable, like for me, if we were reasonable here, just to go off my last example, that guy who got the screensaver from us, I would have been like, if we were reasonable, we would have said, oh, I bet he loves that screensaver. It's so good, but we weren't, man. We were unreasonable. We were like, hey, listen, man, that could be a guy that we could actually really help out. And
no, I get what he's saying. I completely agree. It's
totally.
It's fantastic. I mean, it's just, for me, it's just a big aha moment. You just got to keep at it. I love how he follows up with his, customers that he actually, sold to for like 2 years. I mean, holy cow, that's fantastic.
I got you talked to the veterans in my office. I've got open deals that in my mind I know we're going to close. I mean, I've been following up with them for 4 years.
Oh, wow.
And if you come have a conversation with me, I'll tell you that we're close. And I actually think that we are. So but that's the deal, man. I mean, that's the deal. So. Dude, thanks a lot for calling in. I really appreciate that. Good luck with the rest of the follow up because you're in some of the fun stuff. I know you're gonna see a lot of the advanced strategies.
So what's the deal with the conference? I just started this, so I don't know. Is it going to be helpful? What's the deal?
Oh, great question, man. So what I want you to do is I want you to pull up on your screen 10xgrowthcon.com. And so for those of you at the who haven't got the tickets yet, who don't know what the 10X GrowthCon is, what I want you to do is just pull up 10xgrowthcon.com. And once you do that, you're going to see all the speakers, all the topics, everything that's going to be discussed. So are you a business owner or are you a salesperson or what's your position?
I'm a real estate agent, broker.
Perfect.
In New York City.
Perfect.
So I pretty much own my own business.
Good. Perfect. So it won't pull up. So, there it is. So when you, go ahead. So when you go to the website, 10xgrowthcon.com, it's going to show you, look, spend 3 days, with Grant Cardone and the world's top business experts. Now, I'm going to tell you that there's going to be thousands of people there that are just like you. Great place for networking. But you're going to hear from the best speakers who own the biggest businesses, who run the biggest companies, who run real big businesses, who've ran into real problems, real challenges. I mean, the takeaways that we had last year just from the business day was unbelievable. And then for you, of course, as a real estate professional, day 2 is going to be huge for you because it's marketing mastery. I mean, every single business needs marketing. Every single business needs to know how to get in front of people. So what Grant did was he grabbed the top people in the space. So like if you know Damon John, you know Russell Brunson, if you've ever been on the internet, you've seen Ty Lopez, okay, Carrie Kasem. I mean, guys, look, these are heavy influencers. And then on day 3, it's all about the life. It's all about, hey, how do I make this 10x business my 10x life? And so these are people that he's brought together to, really spend, they're going to spend maybe probably 60 minutes speaking, maybe a little bit longer, and then Grant's going to roll into a Q&A with them. And so you'll be there for it, and there's going to be a lot of takeaways for you.
What's the mentoring aspect of it? I got an email from you guys
on
saying
Friday.
On Friday,
Grant's going to do a show just like this, where he's going to be fielding questions. People are going to be calling in. He's going to be dropping his knowledge on how to be successful with the program. He built the program. He's built the training. He's been working with companies over 30 years. He's seen it all. He knows it all. And that's what he's going to be here to really fill that in, man. So thanks a lot for the phone call.
Thanks so much, man.
All right, brother. You take care, man. Have an awesome day. So, guys, listen, this week we talked about, strategies to figure out for why deals are not closing. I want you to figure this out. This is actually after you've presented the product. This is on the follow-up. Why are they not buying from me? Why are they not taking my time? Why are they not allowing me to pitch my product when I know my product is the best for them? Okay, so this is going to be something that you can use. I got a couple more callers. I'm going to grab those.
Christine in San Francisco.
Christine, how you doing?
Steve?
Yes. How are you?
Hey, it's Christine in California, the LinkedIn Jedi Master.
Yes.
Yeah. So a couple things. First of all, the hair's looking great today.
Oh, thank you.
Second of all, like I emailed you, I had my best week all year last week, and I totally have been doubling down on Cardone U, and one day I did like 27 segments. I just went crazy, and I'm totally drinking the Kool-Aid and brainwashing myself, and it completely works.
It's beautiful to hear that because I did the same thing. I did the same thing, and it's like a rocket ride.
Yeah. It's like rocket fuel. It's like pouring rocket fuel on your business.
Exactly. So here, guys, here's what she's telling you. She's telling you, hey, commitment works.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Repetition works.
Yeah.
And Cardone University works. So what question can I help you out with this week?
Yeah. So I tried the apology follow-up that I got out of the follow-up module, I think it was.
Yeah.
Or you talked about it. Somebody talked about it. Anyway, so I've been using that and getting great responses that feel more authentic than what I was getting on the phone. I just sent an email, follow-up email. And then I have a follow-up success story as well. I did a teleseminar, a LinkedIn Success telesummit in Australia 2 years ago, and a guy who saw me then, he got on my list. He's been like stalking me on LinkedIn. And we finally I made a special offer based on, offering a LinkedIn assessment like Jared had talked about in Young Hustlers.
Yep.
And he took me up on my offer, and I closed him. So
wow.
He finally did business with me after 2 years, and I was just, following up with him on, via my email list. He saw me on LinkedIn, and it works. So
yeah.
I don't really have any problems right now except just keep doing what I'm doing.
Yeah, congratulations. That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, anytime you have that like feeling of success, you just got off a big deal. I mean, the next thing is to, take that success and move into the next deal because your confidence level is through the roof. Hey, I helped out this guy who told me no for 2 years. We couldn't even get the deal done for 2 years. And now he said yes. Like, carry that motivation.
Yeah.
Carry that motivation into the next deal. That's what Grant talks about this inside 100 Ways to Stay Motivated inside the program. And he says, hey, dude, when you're hot, do not get out of the game. When LeBron drops 6 threes in a row, they don't not pass the ball to him, so go out there and, we'd love to hear some more success stories for you. So.
Super. Thanks, Steve. Appreciate your help.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for yours. And so let's do one more caller.
I got Miles in Boca.
Miles from Boca. How's it going?
Yo, what's going on, man?
What's up, man? How are you?
I'm doing pretty well. How about yourself?
Dude, I'm unbelievable, man. We got the 10X Growth Conference going. Do you have your tickets?
I don't have my tickets, but I'm going to be getting them soon, man.
Okay.
I'm going to be getting them within the next week or two. I'll get them.
Okay. Well, man, dude, we got some sick deals right now. We got an executive mezzanine right now for $695.
Yeah, I'm going to be doing the one for, I'm going to get one for my employees as well. So I'm going to buy 2.
Oh, my man.
So, yeah, man.
2 for $1,000, man. You can't even beat it.
Yeah.
What can I help you out with this week?
All right, man. So, I've only been on Cardone U for a little bit now. I own a company. We have a magazine, and we sell advertising space, cold calling.
Okay.
So it usually only takes like a couple calls to close a deal. But I just opened my own company. I've been doing this for other companies for a few years. And at the other companies, they would turn over the phone a lot, right? So, like, you have like a fronter pretty much, and then a closer will hop on the phone. So I have no problem closing my own deals. But I've been having some issues, like trying to take over phone calls. Like I'm going to have a couple new fronters start on Friday for me, and I've just been having a little bit of issues, like taking over the phone call and that transition.
Yeah.
And I was just pretty much just getting your opinion. Do you think it's better since they've had the rapport built up? Do you think it's good to have a turnover, or is there something in Cardone U that could help me out with this issue?
Well, are they on Cardone U or just you?
Does that make sense?
Yeah. So are they on Cardone U or just you? Do your people, the people who are pitching, are they on Cardone U? Is he still there? So basically, guys, what he's asking is, hey, listen. He's asking about the style, the setup, really. Really, what he's asking is, hey, if I got somebody I got an appointment setter and then I've got a closer, is that style the style that you would go with? He's probably like, hey, listen, I've been doing my own deals for a long time. Now I'm starting to grow. I'm expanding. I'm hiring other people, but clearly they don't have the style, the swag, the knowingness, the understanding, the information that I have because I've been doing this for a long time. So what's the best way to do it? And so, this is why Cardone University is such a great program for a group, because you're going to get somebody the information that they otherwise wouldn't have unless they'd been in the business for a long time. So this is why you guys invested in the program in the first place. That way you could learn all the things that would take you 20 and 30 and 40 years to like really figure out. Grant's already done that for you. So if you don't have your team on Cardone University, let us know so we can help you guys out. We'll put your team on the program and send them through too. I see this all the time. I see managers or business owners who are the only ones on the program, and they're like, they're asking, their biggest question is, how do I get my people to produce? I'm like, well, are they on the program? They're like, no, just me. I'm like, well, if you're the only one going to the gym and everybody else is staying at home eating Cheetos, what do you think's going to happen, dude? So, this is exactly what we're talking about here, is that you got to have everybody on the team. You got to look at it. Just see what's the situation. So to handle his question, though, he's talking about pitching deals, closing deals, maybe one call close. If he's cold calling people, Grant's going to show you right here and master the cold call. So he's going to talk a lot about the expectation leading up to the call. I'll tell you that if you're setting the appointment to a presentation, or if you're doing a one call close deal, the first call expectation is everything. So make sure that they're sold on that first call. Like whether they buy it on the first call, you need to make sure that they leave that call like, hey, we need to do this deal. That way they go into your appointment thinking, sitting down, they got an open mind to your solution. This is one thing that I've witnessed with newer salespeople, is that they don't do all the things Grant talks about when it comes to locking down the call. So if you go to the cold call process right here, Grant digs into, hey, here's how to drop the big claim. Here's how to qualify and fact find. And then here's how to close them on either the deal or the appointment. And this is going to change the way that they show up, which is important for you, because if you got a guy who shows up, you know, he's just like, yeah, I talked to that guy. He keeps calling. I'm going to take his call, whatever, you know, that's going to be different than a guy who you pitched, sold. A guy on the call was like, yes, we need that. And so when are we doing and if he has to go to an appointment, if maybe there's other decision makers, this is where you can start to figure out like, hey, what problems may I run into on this phone call? Okay. Let me flip it back to some of the things that you may run into from what we started to talk about on today's phone call. If we go back into follow-up, if we go back to the reasons people don't buy from us, okay, it says reasons why people do not buy from you. I'm start handling all this stuff as early as possible. Okay, so what I want to do is I maybe want to go down and figure out, okay, well, if this guy's not the decision maker, he can't buy from me. So how do I handle that? Grant's going to cover it on this video. Okay, so, sir, excellent. Can't afford to have this meeting with you. Other than yourself, who else is going to be an influencer to a decision like this for your company? Oh, no. It's just going to be me. Excellent. Okay, I'm going to try to like knock these out as soon as possible. Hey, let me ask you this. Before we go to this meeting, I want to ask you, have you guys ever done anything like this before? You know, these are all qualifying questions, you know, that you can do on the cold call to close it and lock it down. And so Grant's going to use a close. It's called the lockdown close. It says, hey, for any reason whatsoever, would there be any reason why you wouldn't be able to make that call on Thursday at 2:00? The guy's going to be like, no, I'll be there. Excellent. Other than a zombie apocalypse, though, are you sure? No reason. Okay. Well, there wouldn't be any other reason why you wouldn't miss that call. Okay. That's going to be Grant's lockdown close. That's how he locks it down. You guys need to do it. You got to do it. So remember, in the program, guys, 6 training segments every single day. 6 training segments coming from the program, plus coming back for correction. So, guys, listen, if you're on the ambassador program, okay, we're going to see you guys here on Friday. Grant's going to be lighting it up for you. If you're not on the ambassador program, I don't know, we closed that down, but I think we still got the link open, right? Yeah, so guys, if you're not on it yet, go to cardoneuniversity.com. Okay. Go to 10xgrowthcon.com/CU. Oh, got it. Okay. Or grantcardone.com/mentor. So if you guys haven't got that, Grant's going to be doing it on Friday. Okay. Johnny says there's only 8 seats left. Okay. So there's only 8 seats left. Okay. Grant's coming back right now. We're going to be lighting this up on Friday. It's going to be an unbelievable experience leading up to the Growth Con. It's a little deal Grant's doing where he's like, hey, listen, I'm going to make some people great because I want to show this off at my 10X Growth Con. So guys, go to 10xgrowthcon.com/CU or grantcardone.com/mentor. And we'll see you guys back here next Wednesday on the Cardone University Mastermind.